So, hi, good evening, everyone.
Okay,
Hope you all are doing well. And as you all know, today we are here for the beautiful event of data science. Let's discuss the data science. And for this event, we have Sarthak Maheshwari sir with us. He's a specialist product engineer at SC Bank. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Smart Growth. Good evening. And how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good. How are you, sure?
I'm completely fine, sir.
Great,
People, as you all know, you can share your questions in the message section. We will take all the questions in the end of the event.
great. Hi everyone. Good evening to one and all present here. Uh, I'm Sarthak Maheshwari, and we are having this discussion. Let's discuss about data science. And first of all, I would like to thank Squad Growth and Shore for providing me with this opportunity. And because sharing the content, sharing the knowledge is, and through this means is one of the greatest platform by which I can guide and you guys can learn. So the I will give you a brief walkthrough about how this PPT will go, how this conversation will go. I will be telling you about myself, uh, from where I am, how my relationship with data science has been, how I got introduced to data science, then the key aspects about data science according to me, what are the prerequisites, the learnings, and then the last part would be uh, uh, what mistakes I did in data science. So that would be the ending half, the last half of the PPT. So yeah, so let's start. So I'm basically from Uttar Pradesh. There's a town in Uttar Pradesh, Bareilly. I'm basically from there, and I graduated from IIT Roorkee in 2020, and have been associated with data with Standard Chartered Bank. Sorry, just a second. I think there's some noise coming in the background. I'm so sorry. Apologies. Yeah, sorry. So I have been associated with Standard Chartered Bank for past 2 years. For the first year, I was assigned a role of data science analyst, and for the current year, I have been assigned a role of specialist product engineer, where I'm leading a particular project in the data science field. Okay, I've had a couple of interns in the data science field as well during my college days, and ये बात around 5 साल पुरानी है जब मेरा रिश्ता data science से शुरू हुआ, and it was around in my first year in 2017 maybe. There was this buzz in the campus that you need to do coding, you need to do lead code, hacker rank, uh, GFG, to get into coding, to learn coding, because software development is the key. But I was not one of those guys जिसमें इसको interest है. So I was just looking out for different fields, and actually I was booking a ticket for my parents through IRCTC app, and that time IRCTC has enabled a chatbot system, maybe for some users at that moment of time. I'm pretty sure अब तो नहीं है वो, but उस time वो enabled था. And then I got to know कि यार ये chatbot system क्या है, because I was able to book my ticket through chatbot system, not through the normal process, which is drop down से select करना date and all. मैंने पूरा process chatbot से किया था. So वो मेरा पहला इंटरेक्शन था डेटा साइंस से, कि चैटबॉट इज अ सब वर्टिकल ऑफ डेटा साइंस. सो तब मेरे को पता लगा कि ओके, दिस इज डेटा साइंस, these are the sub verticals of it, and there are so many sub verticals in it, and this is how data science goes. So that was my first experience with data science, and that kind of motivated me कि चलो इस पार्क में जाते हैं, let's see होता क्या है आगे. So I was really confused at that moment, because my face was similar to this particular person कि data science के इतने definitions were available on let's say Investopedia, Technopedia, Wikipedia, and thousand more websites जहाँ पे कुछ ना कुछ in some technical terms the definition was written, and it kind of confused me. But with due course of time, from my past 4 and a half years of experience, I can summarize that data science can be divided into three parts. The first is study and clean data. Data science is nothing but data ko padhna, and for that data should be clean or in pure form. Data can be in a text or an image or a video or a audio or a column or rows, कुछ भी हो सकता है. And the thing is, there may be noise in that data, there may be फ्लॉज इन दैट डेटा, उस डेटा को क्लियर करना, क्लीन करना और स्क्रूटाइज करके एक प्योर रॉ फॉर्म में बनाना is our first task of data science. Now comes the second task, which is analysis and explore. Now this particular part, analysis and explore, is the most important part of a data scientist or a data science beginner or any data science person journey, because this is the point where all the feature extraction, exploratory data, data analysis, reading the data, understanding the data takes place, because this particular step helps us to figure out or to start the third step, which is machine learning prediction. According to me, I would say if you have performed the first two steps very accurately and very rigorously, then I think this third step, which is the machine learning prediction or applying machine learning logics or algorithms or deep learning, gets little bit easier. So I would just divide data science into these three particular aspects. Now, for me, the first question, which came was ki, how data science? Why data science? Not what data science, because मेरे को पहले पहचानना है कि why am I choosing data science, why is this field more good to me or more efficient for me or is of my interest. I need to figure out that question first. ये figure out करने के बाद then I will move on to the next question, which is data science करते कैसे हैं and how. Okay, coming to the prerequisites, I think each and every field has some prerequisites associated with it, either be it coding, supply chain, product analyst, or a UX UI design. हर फील्ड का कुछ ना कुछ एक मिनिमम बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट होता है. एंड जैसे क्रिकेट खेलने के लिए भी यू नीड टू नो बॉल कैसे फेंकते हैं या बैट कैसे पकड़ते हैं. सबसे पहले डेटा साइंस के लिए देयर इज दिस प्रीरिक्विजिट व्हिच इज विल पावर. आपके मन में एक वो एंथुजियाज्म या वो मोटिवेशन या वो कीननेस होनी चाहिए that you are able to start this process, you are able to start this journey, because until and unless you have no reason to start this journey, you won't be able to proceed further. After having the willpower, having the enthusiasm or motivation, we come to the tech stack of data science, which is which is Python, database, and maths. So data science, usually people who are into data science practice with with majorly these two languages, which is R and Python. You need to know the basics of Python or R, any language among these two, because these two are very handy for data frame, for data sets. You need to have a basic understanding, basic assumptions कि कैसे कोड लिखते हैं, कैसे हम आगे बढ़ते हैं, and then we get our results. After this, maybe the second step is not a mandatory one, that you need to have a knowledge of database, which is SQL, because what I have seen from my past 4 years, that usually data science practitioner or beginners know SQL because उनको ये use आता है, it comes in their project, so that's why उनको याद हो जाता है या they practice it. It is not a mandatory step. Then the third step is knowing the maths, the statistics, the probability associated with the machine learning algorithms. The main point is that you need to know the basics of maths. You should be good with probability. You should understand the concepts of probability or statistics, any type of theorems which are associated with it. You need to have a basic understanding to proceed further. I'm not saying that all the required knowledge, you would be able to gain all the required knowledge at one go, but you need to have a very basic understanding of it. Then comes the next part, which I would like to highlight. The second point which I mentioned in the earlier slide is which is analyzing and exploring. You need to have those skills to understand the data, to read the data, to visualize it in a graphical or in Excel, so that you can get out the conclusions, the insight or results from that data. After getting these required or very basic knowledge, then comes the machine learning algo parts. There are tens of machine learning algorithms with a very big maths behind it. But what I meant to say here is that you need to know the basic essence of a machine learning algorithm. कि वो algorithm कहना क्या चाह रही है, उसकी मैथ्स क्या है, बेसिक्स बिहाइंड इट, उसका लॉजिकल स्टेटमेंट क्या है, उसकी रीजनिंग क्या है. वो एल्गोरिथम शुरू कैसे हुई और खत्म कैसे हो रही है, एंड वो उसका एंड रिजल्ट कैसे होता है. So you need to have that understanding as well. So this is, I could sum up the prerequisites in this particular slide. I think these are the basic prerequisites which are required. Again, I would like to repeat this point that 100% मास्टरी या एक्सपर्टीज अभी रिक्वायर नहीं होती. यू नीड टू हैव द बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग सो दैट आप स्टार्ट कर पाओ, आप अपने आप को उस लेवल पे पहुंचा पाओ कि हाँ लेट्स स्टार्ट, अब मैं प्रोजेक्ट करता हूँ या मैं आगे अगले वाले स्टेप पे बढ़ता हूँ. नाउ कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड which is learnings. After getting the basic required knowledge, you need to have some source jahan se you can learn things. So let's say if you're talking about machine learning algorithms, if you're talking about any other functionality, any other library, either Python or R, there is this official documentation which is available for each and every functionality. जो एक तरीके से कह सकते हैं संजीवनी बूटी होता है किसी भी लाइब्रेरी का या किसी भी सीखने वाले के लिए. Now one of the problems which us beginners face is that कि वो ऑफिशियल डॉक्यूमेंटेशन इतना टेक्निकल टर्म्स में होता है कि हम बिगनर्स समझ नहीं पाते. तो उसके लिए देयर आर टन्स ऑफ ब्लॉग्स, आर्टिकल्स, मीडियम ब्लॉग्स, यूट्यूब वीडियोस अवेलेबल ऑन इंटरनेट एंड फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, जो हम लोग को इसमें हेल्प करता है कि हम उसका बेसिक मैथ समझें या मे बी उसके बेसिक एजम्पशन समझें या उसकी रीजनिंग समझें. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि ऑफिशियल डॉक्यूमेंटेशन समझा नहीं पाता, बट इट इज मोर इजी फॉर अ बिगनर टू अंडरस्टैंड इट थ्रू द मीन्स ऑफ मीडियम, blogs or YouTube. I would not recommend you to go to the paid courses directly, because since internet is such a vast area and almost 99% of the content is free of cost. So you have plethora of content to learn, to revise and to apply. And there's this beautiful site called Analytics Vidya, which has, I think, n number of blogs on each topic in data science, each subset with each functionality. उस पे हर एक पे blog है and it is beautifully explained there. So you can take help of this particular site, to get the basic understanding of it as well. Then after getting all these required knowledge, I'm not saying again कि 100% acquire हो सकता है. It will take time, but after getting some knowledge from these all three platform, there's this site known as Kaggle, which is nothing but a collaboration of students where there are data sets competitions for you to participate in, for you to practice upon, for you to learn different things. And then there are solutions of those data sets or those problems as well, where you can understand by comparing कि मैं कहाँ गलत हुआ, मैं क्या नहीं सोच पाया. So after practicing let's say 50 data sets या 20 data sets, जितने भी आप data sets practice करते हो, you will get to learn कि मैं इस point पे गलत हुआ and इस point पे सही था, ये point मैंने cover किया and ये point मैं cover नहीं कर पाया. So Kaggle is that particular heaven for us data science practitioner, जहाँ पे सब चीज available होती है. Apart from that, let's say for example I will take me myself in this case कि I have been doing data science for past 4.5 years roughly, and I have a knowledge in particular section, let's say chatbot and NLP, natural language processing. इस section में मेरी knowledge है, मेरे पास मैंने projects भी आ गए हैं. So I need to develop a expertise or a specialization. तो I can go for paid courses which are available on Coursera and Udemy. वहाँ पे मैं proper courses करके certificate gain कर सकता हूँ to get a specialization, and which would be helpful for me in the future if I'm going to switch into different company, or even if I'm going for masters. So यहाँ पे ये paid courses help करते हैं. This is my understanding related to the learnings. Now coming to the next slide, which is mistakes which I have made. See, I had few mentors and I had few seniors who guided me, but mistakes सबसे होती हैं. And what I think I'm going to tell you is that these are couple of mistakes or a few mistakes which I think if you are trying to avoid it, आप अपनी efficiency और productivity बढ़ाओगे. I went into data science field and I did this these small errors which made me learn data science in 8 to 9 months. अगर मैं इन mistakes को avoid करता, I might have learned the basics of data science in let's say 6 months. So आपके वो time को reduce करने के लिए I'm trying to tell you these mistakes. What usually I did was in my first or second year कि मैं direct मशीन लर्निंग के एल्गोरिथम्स में अप्लाई करने लग गया। मैंने समझा ही नहीं कि व्हाट आर दीज एल्गोरिथम्स ट्राइंग टू से, उनके एजम्पशंस क्या है, उनकी मैथमेटिक्स क्या है, और उनके इम्पैक्ट क्या होता है। मैंने डेटा देखा एंड अप्लाई कर दिया, जो बेस्ट रिजल्ट आया, आगे बढ़ गया। जब तक मैं मशीन लर्निंग उन एल्गोरिथम्स का बेसिक्स नहीं समझूंगा, उनके पीछे की बैक स्टोरी नहीं समझूंगा, मैं एक अच्छा डेटा साइंस प्रैक्टिशनर नहीं कहलाऊंगा। बिकॉज मेरे रिजल्ट आ जाएंगे, बट लॉन्ग रन में मैं मेरी मेरी वो सेक्शन वीक ही रहेगा। सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इज यू शुड नो द बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट्स ऑफ दोज एल्गोरिथम्स, क्योंकि जरूरी नहीं सारी एल्गोरिथम्स आपको पता होनी चाहिए। क्योंकि आप लेट्स से आप इफ अ बिगनर इज प्रैक्टिसिंग these algorithms, linear regression, logistic regression, they are 4 or 5 basic algorithm जो सब जिससे सब शुरू करते हैं। तो आपको उनकी बेसिक्स पता होनी चाहिए और फिर ही आपको आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। The second mistake which I did was कि I was into chatbots and NLP field. मेरा इनफैक्ट स्टैंडर्ड चार्टर्ड बैंक में फर्स्ट ईयर में भी पहला प्रोजेक्ट इसी फील्ड के ऊपर था। सो व्हाट आई फेल्ट वाज कि इफ आई एम इनटू दिस फील्ड तो मैं उसके हर एक सब वर्टिकल का स्वाद चखूं, राइट? बिकॉज आप किसी रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हो तो आप चाहते हो कि मैं ये भी चखूं वो भी चखूं। सेम गोस हियर एज वेल, कि आपको पहले पता होना चाहिए कि आप कितने सारे सब डिविजन्स हैं। लेट्स से डीप लर्निंग भी है, लेट्स से प्रेडिक्टिव मॉडलिंग भी है, लेट्स से राउटिंग प्रॉब्लम्स भी है, प्रिस्क्रिप्टिव मॉडलिंग भी है, और सेल्स एनालिटिक्स भी है। तो बहुत सारे वर्टिकल्स हैं इसमें। सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आपको किस वर्टिकल में जाना है। You need to try each vertical. Obviously you won't be able to try all the verticals, but आप जितना try कर सकते हैं, it would be beneficial for you in future, because you would be able to speculate कि मेरे को किस field में interest है, and जहां आपका मन लाया करेगा you would be able to work in that particular field. The third point is related to the second point which I mentioned in the second slide, which was analysis and explore. Usually people who are practicing data science, what they do is कि वो directly problem पे jump कर देते हैं. You need to understand that एक problem दिया है तो उसके पीछे का कुछ concept होता है. There are underlying insights about it. You need to understand the problem. You need to study the data एंड देन आगे बढ़ना होता है। सीधे आंख बंद करके डेटा क्लीन करके जल्दी से एनालिसिस करके आगे नहीं बढ़ना होता। यू नीड टू गिव टाइम एंड थिंक थॉरोली। हियर कम्स द मेजर पार्ट ऑफ योर लॉजिकल रीजनिंग एंड विजुअलाइजेशन एंड एनालिटिकल स्किल्स, because it plays a very vital role in this particular field. The next point is, the next mistake which I made was the proficiency in R or Python. What I did in my second year was, I would take an example. I was given a problem data set on Kaggle only, and I directly started working on Python. And मैं क्या करता था, मैंने Python सीखी नहीं थी तब तक. I only had a very little understanding of Python. अब that problem statement on Kaggle had a timeline कि 3 दिन में you need to complete that particular statement and submit the solutions. अब मैं कर ही नहीं पाया. I was not able to do it, not even a bit, because मेरे को Python की understanding नहीं थी. So प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट, मशीन लर्निंग समझने से पहले आपको जिसमें कोड करना है, जो आपका वेपन है, जो आपका टूल है, जिससे आप आगे काम करने वाले हो, यू नीड टू हैव द नॉलेज ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज, बी इट आर और पाइथन, कोई भी लैंग्वेज में हो, बट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आपको यही आपका वेपन है जो आगे आने वाले टाइम में आपकी हेल्प करेगा. सो हैविंग अ अंडरस्टैंडिंग और बेसिक्स क्लियर फॉर दीज टू लैंग्वेज इज अ मस्ट, आई थिंक. The next point is, I think, the most important. कि what usually people do is, in fact I did, कि मैंने 4-5 महीने data science सीखा, and then for the next 2 months I practiced different kind of data sets on Kaggle, through Kaggle, and then I left data science for 5 or 4 months, which is not the right practice, because आपको वापस वही strength gain करने में, वही knowledge gain करने में it will take time. इससे बढ़िया what should people do is, if you are a regular data science practitioner, you should try your hands, you should read different articles, you should be up to date to that knowledge. You should not leave it in between for some amount of time, because वो आपके ही efficiency decrease करेगा और productivity decrease करेगा. So these were I think some of the mistakes I made during my 4 years of journey, and I think these might be helpful for some of you at least. because these mistakes, if you are trying to avoid these mistakes, these will absolutely save your time. I think we are at the end of our PPT almost. So I think I would be opening the forum for any questions we have in the section. Yeah.
People, you can put more questions because we can take all of your questions right now. And yes, let's start the question answer session. So the first question is data scientist versus data engineer.
Yeah. Okay. So see, vertical same है, data science के अंदर सब आते हैं, but they are different naming conventions or job description around it. I will give you an example. Data scientist क्या करता है? एक्सप्लोर करता है डेटा को, एनालिसिस करता है, मशीन लर्निंग एल्गोरिथम्स लगाता है एंड प्रिडिक्ट करता है. दिस आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अ नॉर्मल डेटा साइंटिस्ट. Whereas data engineer is something different, because data scientist is being a data scientist is purely related to predictive modeling or some kind of neural networks or AI जिस भी आप फील्ड में कर रहे हो. Whereas data engineer है, आप जैसे data engineer is itself a very big field, because data engineer के अंदर आते हैं machine learning engineers जो pipeline बनाते हैं, then there are database administrator जो proper flow बनाते हैं, how will the data will process. So analyze करके predict करना is something else, but उस analysis के लिए frameworks बनाना और pipeline बनाना, that comes in the data engineering part. Now again data engineering is a big vertical. उसके अंदर as I said ML engineer आता है, database administrator आता है, database admin आता है. So they have specifically separate JDs inside them. So I think that would answer this question.
Perfect, sir. So can you please switch off this screen sharing so that
Sure.
there is some lag when we are discussing.
Sure. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Now it's perfect. You are a product engineer and the session is of data science. Does product engineer is another word of data scientist? That's the same question which I had and I discussed with you as well.
Sure. So see, हर कंपनी का अलग फॉर्मेट होता है, ठीक है. कुछ लोग डेटा साइंटिस्ट को एमएल इंजीनियर कहते हैं, कुछ कंपनीज, मतलब जरूरी नहीं, बट कुछ कंपनीज कहती हैं. इन माय कंपनी स्टैंडर्ड चार्टर्ड, sorry, I have been working as a data science analyst for my first year, and in my second year I was assigned a role of specialist product engineer. In my firm, the specialist product engineer is nothing but a lead manager or a person who is leading a project in this particular field. So this is just a naming convention. Yes, I agree with you कि product manager को हम data science analyst या data scientist, ML engineer नहीं कहते, but these terms does not define the role. अगर आप इसके अंदर काम आपका data science का है, तो आपका कोई भी role हो, आपकी knowledge gain होनी चाहिए. This is what I mean by this.
Got it, sir. 1 second, please. Yes. What's the difference between product engineer and product manager?
Product engineer and product manager. So if you're talking, so these are two totally different fields, right? Product engineer, like product engineer is the subset of product manager. Product manager बनने से पहले, you need to become a project engineer. I'm repeating it again कि do not confuse me with a product manager. My role is senior specialist product engineer, but I have been working in data science field. मेरा role उसका ही है. But to answer your question, product manager is totally related to a product. What are the specs of the product, how the product should look like, how should it look like to the consumer. For example, Zomato की application आई आइकन इधर ही क्यों हो, बटन्स नीचे ही क्यों हो. These are the roles of a product manager, and under product manager there are different roles such as product engineer. Maybe for few companies I have seen product engineer can also mean a full stack developer, जिसको full stack के back end की भी knowledge हो, Java की, let's say front end में any front end framework, HTML, React, and then उससे थोड़ा बहुत data भी आता हो. So for few companies, product engineer does mean a full stack developer, but product manager specifically means a customized customer satisfaction role. Yeah.
Feel bored sometime, like doing code and code all the day?
uh, okay. Yes, मतलब बोर एज इन टू बी ऑनेस्ट यस बोर होते हैं नो डाउट, क्योंकि चाहे कितना ही मन का फील्ड हो देयर इज सम थ्रेशोल्ड और लिमिट टू एवरीवन कि वो क्रॉस जाता है तो आप बोर होते हो. इफ यू हैव अ 9 to 5 जॉब और आप उसमें अगर आप 6 घंटा भी लगातार कोड कर रहे हो तो देयर कम्स अ पॉइंट कि आप बोर हो रहे हो, बट आप इंटरेस्ट लूज कर रहे हो, ये नहीं होता. बोर होना अलग होता है, इंटरेस्ट लूज करना अलग होता है. मेरा डेटा साइंस से इंटरेस्ट जा रहा है, नो ये गलत है. यस मैं कभी कभी जैसे लेट्स से दिस रिडंडेंट वर्क कि मेरे को एक डेटा से कुछ क्लीन करना है और उसको मेरे को 5 घंटे लगने हैं, तो यस मैं बोर हो जाऊंगा वो करते करते, बिकॉज आई नीड सम न्यू वर्क, आई नीड सम एक्साइटिंग वर्क. तो बोर होना लाजमी है, इट इज वैलिड, बट इंटरेस्ट हटना इज क्वाइट समथिंग डिफरेंट, तो वो नहीं होना चाहिए. राइट.
Got it, sir. Can you explain a bit about your projects? Which project you did when you were in college? That's the next question, sir.
Okay. In college or in can it be in bank in my company?
In college specifically.
In
Like
college. Okay. Okay. So during my second year, I did an intern with analytics firm, which was US focused, and usme my role was to increase the customer satisfaction rate by analyzing the reviews. So usme what I did was I will explain it in layman term, ताकि you guys would understand. मैंने reviews को, let's say there is this company Zomato for example, I scraped the reviews available online for Zomato and I did the natural language processing part on those texts, got the sentiment analysis कि वो review कहता क्या है and gave it to the product owner which was Zomato कि आपको you need to work upon your food delivery skills or you need to work upon your food delivery time or your delivery guy was rude or in restaurant reviews your food was not good. So that kind of sentiment analysis I did it in my second year. Apart from that, as I told in the PPT, there is this site Kaggle. I did around 20 to 50 data sets on Kaggle. It was as simple as predicting the sales price after seeing the past records to as complex as image classification. So मैंने हर टाइप के डेटा सेट्स पे वर्क किया है during my college days, and Kaggle was the source for it. And in intern, I did it on customer satisfaction, natural language processing. Whereas I would like to highlight this point as well. In my current company, Standard Chartered, in my first year, I did work on a chatbot because chatbot से ही मेरा data science से link शुरू हुआ था. So chatbot पे ही मैंने सबसे पहले वहाँ पर प्रोजेक्ट उठाया, and it was a really big chatbot, and I which had a consumer database of around 40 lakh people. So yep, that's it.
That's a nice project, sir. Like handling a lot of data.
Yep.
And there's a next question. What is data set, sir?
What is data set? Okay. Okay. So data set is nothing but a collection of rows and columns. Let's say you have 100 student data, उनके इंग्लिश से लेके साइंस तक के मार्क्स हैं, एंड देन देयर आर 100 रोज. ठीक है, मतलब 100 रोज 100 स्टूडेंट डेटा, उसको आपने एक डेटा फ्रेम में बना दिया और दैट इज नोन एज डेटा सेट. डेटा सेट इज नथिंग बट अ कलेक्शन ऑफ रोज में डेटा होगा. इट कैन बी ऑफ एनीथिंग एंड दिस डेटा कैन बी इन अ वेरी ह्यूज फॉर्मेट. एक एक 1 रो से लेके ये कुछ 10 बिलियन रोज तक का भी हो सकता है. So like there is no limitation of the size of data set, but this is data set.
Got it, sir. People, if you have any other question, put it in the message section because we are here for another 1 minute and then we will wrap up the session. So let's wait for 1 minute if they have any question.
Sure.
So till then, if you want to give any advice to the listeners.
Sure, sure. So I would like to say this only, that you need to understand why data science first, or फिर how data science को you need to figure out later. Data science में क्यों जाना है, क्या मोटिवेशन है. Obviously, in college years it is not mandatory कि आपको पता लग जाए, बट आपको, मेरे को पता लग गया था एंड आई वाज फॉर्चुनेट इनफ. बट आपको और फील्ड्स में क्यों नहीं जाना और डेटा साइंस में ही क्यों जाना, मे बी आपको इसका रीजन आता हो. सो यू नीड टू फिगर आउट दैट रीजन कि अब मेरे को डेटा साइंस में जाना है, अब आई विल फिगर आउट हाउ डेटा साइंस. उसके लिए ये सब मटेरियल है, ऑनलाइन है, यूट्यूब है, कोर्सेज है, सो एवरीथिंग इज देयर. सो दैट इज द मेजर पॉइंट.
Got it. Basically, first figure out why and then figure out how.
Yeah, that's it.
So it seems like we don't have any other question. Thank you very much, sir, for providing a huge amount of knowledge to our community. Thank you, people, for listening to us. And it was a great session. Yep.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.